Alright, so what we're looking at here is a Jeep Comanche pickup. It's got a 6.5-inch lift, 33 tires, long arm suspension. It's got a small block Chevy in here. Done some modification, electric cooling fan. You can see the radiator is pretty sizable here. Set of headers, some custom wiring. Used a underhood power distribution center from like a 98 Cherokee, modified it. On the inside, got a 700R4 trans B&M shifter. Made all the gauges work. The tachometer on these is adjustable. You got to take the gauge cluster apart, and so actually the tachometer reads correctly for a V8 engine. So the thing I can say though is if you're doing a V8, this is unfortunately a small block 305. The 700R4 is pretty much toasted. The engine's tired. Don't do a swap like this unless you're just willing to dump outrageous amounts of money into it. And if you're going to do a swap like this, do the latest, greatest, newest thing. So probably do an LS. Don't do some old engine. By the time I swap this thing over for fuel injection and rebuild the transmission, put an engine in here that has, you know, maybe some Vortec heads or aftermarket heads that's going to make some decent power. I'm just going to have thousands and thousands into it, and it may or may not be really streetable. If it breaks down, you know, a lot of custom parts would be hard to get at the auto parts store. So I'm actually pulling this, and I've got a 98 Cherokee donor, and I'm just putting an OBD2 98 Cherokee over-the-counter type parts. And the swap's not going to be easy, but hopefully there'll be minimal modification, and it should run a lot smoother, be fuel injected. This thing just wound up being kind of a mess, and I could just see the writing on the wall of how much this was going to cost to do it right. So I got the old V-belt set up on here. There is enough space, and it surprisingly fit pretty well. In fact, in some aspects, putting this thing in, it seemed to fit better than the straight six. And I've got the S10 transfer case. It's a MP231C, and bolted up to the 700R4, bolted up to the 305 small block. So I'm going to be ripping this thing out of here and putting a 98 dash with a 98 computer, and it'll be OBD2 fuel injected. Just order anything I need over the counter auto parts store. So alright, well, that's a walk around of my V8 Comanche, and unfortunately I already got it in the garage and it's pretty cold out, but it does sound good. So